They go back since bowl cuts. He's Dave. He's JR. Two grown men who can't get enough of each other. It's Hangin with Homie. Let's start the show.
Here we are. Yeah, here we are. Episode 5 Q&A. Dave and I always look forward to these episodes. They're super fun.
They're the best.
And I got a couple of thoughts before we dive in. The first thought is trying to get audio questions season 1 was like pulling teeth. Even from our friends and our family, could never track one down. However, this time they came in abundance to where I had to kind of weed some of them out. It was nuts.
Wow, weeding them out. That's where we've got to already in season 2. That's great.
Yeah, and the second thought I want to run by you was an experience I had at a local collectible shop out here, if you will.
Well, what was the experience like? Because I have them every day. I'm just on the other side of the counter.
And the reason I want to bring this up is because I'm curious if you've experienced something like this before. So mother, father come in with their son. He's about to go to a Little League game, right?
Right.
But first, they're going to bring him into the card shop so he can find something cool.
Wow,
right?
Great day already.
Yeah, the kid's into Pokemon, and he comes across these Pokemon mystery packs, right? And him and his mom start grilling me about what's in them. And I said, well, they're mystery packs, so it's a mystery to what's in there.
Yeah, there's a mix. It's Pokemon. I already told you the type of card. What the cards are wouldn't be much of a mystery.
Well, what do you mean you don't know what's in there? Well, that would defeat the purpose of the mystery, you know?
Even if you packed them yourself, which you didn't.
No.
You don't remember.
No, I don't. And there's like 30 packs in there. Now, it's kind of cool what they're doing because if like in certain packs, there are stickers in there, and the stickers you can redeem for like a super rare card.
Great idea. Stealing that idea. Thanks, guys.
So, as you know, hey, it's a gamble, kid. Oh, let's do it. You know, buys the pack, $14, whatever it was. And, dude, kid did not get the sticker, right?
Ooh, tough break.
Limited chance.
Happens.
Yeah. Throws the cards on the counter and storms out of the store.
Jeez. Spoiled much?
Yeah, for his mom to like pick him up. Minutes earlier, the dad already felt it coming, so he's like, I'm going to the car. I'm getting out of here.
Oh, man. Just avoiding your kid.
Yeah, so little Eric here, just a spoiled little brat, dude.
Dude, you mean Eric in Colorado? Like Eric Cartman?
Maybe.
Dude, you guys weak.
I hope this isn't mean to say, but I kind of hope he got pegged during the game.
Dude.
At bat.
I mean, a hit by pitch could happen. You never know.
To anybody. But I just thought that was a silly story to share with you. It's just some kids can be super spoiled. And again, who knows? Maybe I caught them on a bad day. I don't know. But I just thought it was silly. It was funny to share with you. And I was curious if you ever encountered any spoiled, rotten little punks at Double Play.
Dude, you have a bone to pick with these kids. I have not yet run into some kid who's acted out. I've had kids who you could tell, like, they were disappointed they couldn't buy what they wanted because they don't have allowance because they're like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I haven't had a kid yet who has thrown a tantrum. So I don't know if that's a shout out to parenting in Scarborough. Y'all are doing a good job. You're almost 9 out of 10 kids, maybe even like 99.5%. Kids are very well behaved.
Wow.
So, I mean, I lucked out there, but stats tell me that's not going to last forever. At some point this summer, when all the summer people come up, it's going to be a couple kids who are going to have a bad time.
What do you mean Double Play? What do you mean, Dave? I didn't get Tatum.
What do you guarantee? Mean? Hey, I will tell you, there's a kid who comes in. He came in again today with his grandparents, and he always goes, Dave, I want to get the guaranteed auto. And I'm like, listen, kid, there's no guarantees in life.
In life, not just in cards.
I'm giving out this folksy wisdom at the ripe age of 38. I'm like doing the Rick on the counter. Listen, kid, there's no guarantees in life. Well, which one has the autos? You know, if I knew, I'd open them myself, and you'd never get to see them.
Yeah. That's so funny, bro.
Yeah,
so
no guarantees. But, you know, I opened some Heritage yesterday, 3 boxes of Heritage Hobby, and I got 0 autographs, and it's a hobby box. Now make
More
that
like
make
a-
sense.
Yeah, so like the hobby box is supposed to be like the one, right?
Yeah, so they go, you get an auto or a relic. Of course, I get 3 relics. 1 relic per box, which is this little patch of a piece of a bat or a jersey. And I had Tim price them up. They're all like $5. I'm like, what? What the heck?
Damn.
Never opening that again. So you'll see when my video comes out, my honest card review was a 3 out of 10. Pretty bad.
Yeah, those have been pretty fun to watch, dude.
Thanks, man.
I was mentioning to you the other day, I went to go DJ at the water park, and it was like a 30-minute drive. So I listened to you and Tim just open up WWE cards.
All the wrestling. That was a long video. I appreciate that because that's dedication to get through that video.
Yeah, the Triple H was fire, though.
Bleach.
Yeah, but anyway, we could banter all day here. Let's get into why we're here. And that's for
Q&A.
Hey,
Q&A. We want JR.
JR.
Got it.
And our first one comes from my buddy Anthony Antman at the Wrestle Chat podcast. So let's go ahead and hit this one. You in? You ready?
Let's do it.
JR, what's up, brother? It's the Ant-Man from the Wrestle Chat podcast, Q&A time, and I wanted to ask you about something that we didn't get a chance to discuss when you joined me on the podcast recently. Obviously, we covered all the figures that you've collected and how you got started. I kind of feel like action figures are a gateway drug into the hard stuff, replica titles. So if you were to jump in on that train today, which title would you want on your wall first?
It's a very easy answer. And there's one title. It's the Winged Eagle WWE Championship. The one.
That's what I was going to say. I'm like, I already know you. Winged Eagle is the one. Although, just to be a little different and unique, I would want that hardcore championship that looks like it was taped together because that thing was awesome, dude. I loved that one.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I actually got the hardcore title in a figure that I recently picked up. Viscera came with the hardcore belt. And it's pretty cool looking. Obviously, it's mini.
And obviously, it's not a fig swap Viscera.
No, gosh,
All I've been,
man.
dude, I've been to Target twice, and I've been like, I have to go make sure that there's no fig swaps. And I don't even want to buy them, but I feel like obligated to do so.
Yeah, you're doing God's work doing that, man, because there's some shiesty characters out there. So
It ain't much, but it's honest work.
Yeah, to answer Ant-Man's question, the Winged Eagle, hands down. Just seeing Hogan hold that title, Brett, Shawn, Taker, Austin for a day before it got switched,
True.
It's just the one, dude. It's classic, it's timeless, it's beautiful, and yeah, man.
Sounds
I've
like
had
you're
it in my
talking about you've had it in your cart.
Cart several times.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm like, do I pull the trigger? Do I get it? Man, it's typically $450. I got it down to like $290 right now. Should I do it?
It's what?
Yeah, it's
What?
a lot of money.
What? How much?
Yeah, $450.
I could do a lot of great things with $450, and it's not get a title belt.
Yeah, like eat for 2-3 weeks.
See, you get it. I will say, if somebody brings in a belt, I'm gonna get that thing at a deal. I mark my words. I'll have one here for you.
Just be cautious, though, Dave. Maybe, phone in a friend like me to take a look at it on FaceTime.
Okay.
Because I've seen quite a few shady, just bootleg title belts come through the doors. What do you mean this isn't real? What are you talking about? It's from Pakistan. What are you talking about?
I will have to say, look, I know a guy. He's an expert on this stuff. Let me FaceTime him, just like Pawn
He's an
Stars.
expert? Yeah.
He's definitely
That
an
would be
expert
too
in
good.
having a belt in his cart at all times.
Yeah, it's in there still, man. I just...
Just hold off. Hold the
one of these
line.
days. Yeah, one of these days, man. But thanks to Ant-Man for the question. We're going to move on to our second one, which comes from Ashley here in Colorado. Now, I met Ashley because she's a podcast host for a paranormal podcast here in the Mile High.
Spooky.
We've been working on setting up, not a toy hunt together, but a ghost hunt
Dude,
together.
you're going to freak out. You'll chicken out.
All right, well, here's her question, and even her delivery is a little spooky.
Now, I wouldn't be your spooky friend if I didn't ask, is there any item that you've collected, that you thought might be haunted?
Oh, no. This is why I stay away from all dolls.
Yeah, no, you got to, man. Like,
You just don't
porcelain
know.
dolls, they're just spooky. Like from like back in the day, that time period, my Nana had a ton of like porcelain dolls, and at night they're just staring at you while you're sleeping.
You know, they're also staring at you during the daytime.
Yeah, pretty much staring at you all the time.
It's like that, what's the Goosebumps episode with the dummy? What's that called? The thing that talks? The ventriloquist dummy?
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Dude, it's
about.
like
yeah.
that thing. That thing was no thanks, dude. No ventriloquist, no. Clown, anything clowns, no. Even if it's
Yeah.
not a doll. Anything. The wrestling buddy is the closest thing to
Yeah.
having a doll in here and wrestling figures.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever collected anything that was haunted. And thank goodness, because I don't know how I would deal with that.
You would
know?
move.
Like,
You'd throw away the whole apartment.
yeah, what are you supposed to do?
You got to rehome it. You got
I
to
think
get somebody else to buy it. It's like contractual. It's like, could you agree to buy this? It's yours. Now you get to be haunted.
well, now we're on the right page, because what I would do is I'd bring it to old Double Play Collectibles and sell it to you without giving you the backstory.
No. I wouldn't buy it if it was a doll. No dolls allowed. See, read the sign, buddy.
Yeah, so good question, Ashley.
Great delivery.
Actually, yeah, I bumped into her at Retromania. I guess what she also does for a job is she manages and wrangles kind of all the talent and celebrities that come to do signings at these events. So it was kind of cool bumping into her there.
Dude, sweet job.
Yeah, right? This question comes from my buddy Big Rob here in Fort Collins, Colorado.
All right, here's my question. So a lot of collectors don't open their toys. They leave everything sealed. Why do you open everything that you buy instead of leaving it in the box so it's worth something? And a second one in case you need a bonus. Since you started radio back in Portland, Maine, how different is it from where you were to where you are in 2024 as far as the business goes?
So we got a little twofer there. And the reason that I opened the figures is because I'm not in the hobby of collecting figures for monetary value.
Yeah.
I'm in it for the thrill of the hunt, the thrill of finding it, the thrill of bringing it home and opening it.
And immediately depreciating every figure.
100%. And then immediately posing it and putting it into the correct time frame shelf. And what accessories do I want on? And what is the pose going to be like? Title or no title? Like, there's something about just, holding it and displaying it and lighting it. And man, like, that's why I'm into this. That's like just the like creation aspect of collecting, I think, is what really wrangled me in.
Listen, if y'all are here, it's true nerddom. Like we are not afraid to share the things that we really enjoy. And I noticed in the background you switched it up and added the turtles. Nice touch.
Yep. Yeah, I got the turtles back there now. Just because I'm running out of space in my living room, brother. I don't know what to
How
do.
about next time we need a little quick dime tour of the living room to show people what's happening?
I could do that for sure. And then Rob's follow-up is, since I got into radio, which was like 2013, officially beginning of 2014, how has it changed over the last 10 years? Man, I feel like when I first got in, social media wasn't as prevalent in radio. It was kind of like, oh, well, I suppose we can kind of do that. It wasn't how it is now, where you have to be a full-time content creator on top of your air shift.
You have to be. And don't you feel like you kind of pushed that double standard? Like, because you're so good at it, now everybody's thinking, oh, well, Jeff can just do it. Why is everybody else not doing it?
Well, thank you for that. And it was always like the purpose of, I always felt like if you're going to say something, say it as loud as you can so as many people can hear it. Like, if I'm going to do a break, why have it only live on the air? Why not also capture it on video to share with everybody,
Yep.
And of course, that's not every single break that I do. I kind of pick and choose what I want to make. But at the beginning, man, it was very like, I was just learning video And just those bare minimum skills that I had picked up from you and from YouTube, it put me so far ahead, humbly I'll say,
Yeah.
So far ahead of my peers at the time who really had not only like no desire to learn, but, never had even really tried. So they would always rely on folks to be able to do that. And I think back in the day, you could, which is 10 years ago to me, you could get away with that a little bit more by having, a team for that, a person to shoot, a person to edit,
so
a person to this.
Payroll.
I know.
That's why
now,
companies, they don't want to pay for that.
No, and that's why you see broadcasting as a whole, every year, spring, they bring out the axe and just start making cuts and budget cuts. And it just keeps getting smaller to the point where I'm so thankful that I've been able to learn all of these different skills, whether it's running this audio gear here myself or this camera or learning how to edit and learning how to like storyboard a project. It's
well, you're willing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think you would also say anybody is capable of learning all this stuff, but not everybody's willing to do it. And like you're putting yourself out there every single time.
Yeah.
Like you have to.
Yeah, no, I am.
Dude, ever since I shaved, I'm like, I got to do this every day. Man, this is like a chore. I don't want to do this, but it's part of the brand. It's like having to be camera ready. Your voice has to be set. Like you must be a connoisseur of tea and like herbal meds because I know your voice is at work every day of the week.
Well, it's either that or start smoking, kid. You
go full one way or full the other.
Yeah, it's I love radio. I love broadcasting. And if you think about the word influencer, which is something that we talked about last week, a word that I hate, that I wish would go away, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody is influenced by somebody. You don't have to put you're not.
Nah, in your life, it's just become a commoditized job. But we grow up and older siblings and friends and kids in our school influence us to do good or bad. Either way, we're still influenced.
Yeah, and if you think who like the original influencers were, it was radio jocks.
Yep.
It was them being on the air talking about these things and, either personally or professionally endorsing them. And then listeners are like, well, if they like it, I want to see what this is all about. Like the radio jock is the original influencer. And then, nowadays you have to take that full social media aspect to it rather than just your terrestrial signal. So it's like...
It's a 360 deal.
Yeah, it really is, man. It's a lot of work.
I do remember listening to like 95.9 or Q97.9 when I was a kid. Y'all radio hosts, radio jocks, are some of the best at making these silliest things sound really fun. You're like, this is going to be the... this is a party. Like, you guys. Yep. His best famous quote is he always is just telling you what's happening. We are at a party. He's DJing, and he will say, this is a party. And I'm like, yes, bro. We are all here. We know.
And everybody would lose it.
Is. They're like, yeah, it is.
So much fun,
it's
dude.
It's great. I mean, to make something so simple, so exciting, it's truly a skill.
Well, thank you. I mean, because if you think, like, what are we doing in broadcasting at its lowest common denominator? We're selling air. Dave, you have access to every single song and even advertisement without looking for them in your pocket that I play.
At all times.
So my job, is to, like, convince you to listen to that with me, and hopefully I'll either be informative, I'll be funny, or you'll win something cool. Like there's certain things that, I want to do to entice you to listen. And just this part, just the microphone part is just a piece of it, right? So
just a tool. It's changed a lot. I think to answer the question, really man, it's changed a lot.
Over these 10 years, it's changed a ton, and I could keep going and going. But let's jump to our next question. This is from Brookini back in Maine.
Hey, JR. Hey, Dave. I was wondering what an essential part of your daily routine is. For example, I like to wake up early before the kids and get a workout in. I feel like it makes my day more productive and just goes smoother. So I was wondering if you guys do anything. Have a good day. Do you have a bucket list? And if so, what is one thing on your bucket list? I just recently got to cross one off. I had always wanted to float in a lazy river, and I finally got to do that when I went to Texas in March.
Solid. So Brooke with a little twofer for us, and I'm going to let you kind of take this one first. I think the first part was, what's the regular part of your morning routine? And if anybody's going to talk about it, it's you.
Yeah, essential parts of the routine. The first thing is, as soon as my feet hit the ground, I just do a quick point, and I'm just grateful that I could stand up and I'm alive. And that was, by the way, I was doing that before I had my whole episode with my heart. But I do it way more. Like, the first thing I do before I even think is I just give thanks that I'm alive. That's it. Everything goes great after that. And then my routine is just totally all over the place. In a perfect world, I'd like to go play basketball for an hour and then work out and then come to work and do my meeting with my manager, Tim. We do a meeting every single day, no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's how I get the day going. And I try to eat in between. It used to be, you remember, like I'd cook up like a big breakfast and like eat and take some time, but I'm out the door so much earlier now that I just gotta get that protein. So that's how I do the morning.
Yeah, I mean, you wake up and give thanks, and I do the big leg up, and then I swing it down to get up out of the bed, and I just go, son of a, here we go again, you know?
But I bet the back feels a lot better now.
No, it does for sure. And then from there, I'm like, okay, I want to do something immediately for me, right? Whether that's go to the gym or doctor's thing, or I'm going to do a early morning hunt, whatever it might be. And then I like to come back breakfast time. And then it's like, okay, let's settle into the work day from there, you know?
Nice. Bucket list.
Now, yeah, bucket list, second part. Do you have something that's on there?
You know, I feel like in my life, I keep adding things as I'm about to do them and like crossing them off as I'm finishing writing them. So in 2020, I went skydiving in South Africa. I had no intention of putting that on the list, but I did, and it was amazing.
That's sick.
I've definitely done the lazy river. That's been cool. I think probably one of my things is to own a house in the Bahamas. Ever since I visited there, I've wanted to have a spot to go to. And I'll probably go to Fiji. That's one of I want to go for a month and just do no technology. One of my bucket list things. Just read, hang out, and that's it for a whole month.
It sounds pretty peaceful and great, to be fair.
Yeah, I feel like I can do that, and then I'll have to come up with a new item for the bucket list.
Yeah. I think my bucket list stuff is probably get engaged at Disney World, something I've always wanted to do.
Dude, if you need a cameraman, holler at your boy.
Holler at your boy.
I might just happen to be there the same day with a good camera, whatever.
Yeah, you know. And, definitely own a house, which is pretty low on the list right now, not because of the want, but just because of the logistics and the reality of it right now. And then I think thirdly, I'll say I'd love to do radio in Maine again.
Dude, I'm seeing, I can visualize these getting crossed off someday.
Yeah, how cool would that be, bro?
Bucket lists are fun, dude. You know what I don't think I do enough is put things, because I do put things on my wall. Like, I pre-visualize like a car or a boat or a place to go. If you look at that stuff every day, it's really, really powerful because it keeps you subconsciously just like moving toward them. You don't exactly know how you're going to attain them, but if you look at it every day, like it's like the 5 people you surround yourself with. You're like, man, I am like all those people. So same with a bucket list item. If you look at that thing, if you visualize it, it's just going to happen. So you better be careful what you put on the wall because it's going to happen.
If you book them,
they will come.
They will come.
And then it will be a party.
Yes. This is a party! Okay.
Thanks. Got to get it out of your system.
That was for you.
Thank you.
This next one is from Brugette in Thornton, Colorado. Brugette, she does like cup customization, right? Whoa. She's made me one of Hulk Hogan. She made me one of Cody Rhodes. The coolest one I've gotten of her, if you remember in TMNT 2, Secret of the Ooze, where they had the TGRI container, right? And she made it so it looks like the actual one on a cup. And, Dave, it glows in the dark.
So you know it's ooze.
Yes,
That's
100%.
sick. That's cool.
They're pretty cool. So she does really cool work, and this is her question.
If you could be a connoisseur of food, which food would it be? Like any kind of food?
If you could be a connoisseur of any food, Dave, what would it be?
I mean,
Anything breakfast, right?
anything. I would be anything breakfast. Like, yeah, I could go to every brunch spot in the world. I
Yeah.
think that would be amazing. I would like to say pizza, but I'm pretty basic when it comes to pizza. I just need cheese. I don't need to try. I don't want craziness with the pizza. Just make
No.
it the regular way.
Yeah, pizza's supposed to be simple, and I'm right there with you. Breakfast is my favorite. Like anytime I get to really, whip it up, it's just the best.
Get to
So I
whip
would say,
it.
whip it, fam, fam, fam. No, not cool, guys. Okay. So Brigitte, thank you for the question. Anything breakfast for sure.
I feel like
Our
I
next
played
one
a big part in that for you, the breakfast, like showing you, look, there's levels to this. You can do more than what you think is possible.
Well, no, you did, because before you, it was French toast crunch.
Yeah, because
Like,
you and
that
me,
was-
like the routine was, hey yo, are you gonna make breakfast? Cool, I'll come over.
Yep.
Get
Every
done.
time.
Done.
Bro, I would legit wake up. That mother is cooking it up. Here we go. And I get all excited to start the day because it's almost like a reward to
Yeah.
start the day. But it can also be really good for you, healthy, and it gets your whole day in motion.
So just to visualize for folks that are listening or new, the kitchen where I was cooking was below where you were in the apartment. So I would
Yep.
start cooking, and like it didn't matter what time it was because you would wake up within like minutes of
Oh, yeah.
the smell just rising.
And it was so good. And it would just be like eggs and bacon and hash browns and maybe some pancakes that day. And just, here we go, bro. Let's do it.
The good old days.
Good old days, bro. Our next one is from our buddy Chris back in Maine.
Hard to believe you guys are on to season 2 of the podcast. Loving the new intro and theme. Did you guys ever think you'd be doing a second season? Also, congratulations, Dave, on your new store, and I still need to come check you out.
Yes,
You do. You got to come through, Chris. Heck yeah.
Right. Yeah. Season 2, buddy. Did you think we'd get here?
I thought we would. I just
Yeah.
wasn't. I mean, I wasn't 100% certain because I've had way more things happening in my life than I ever thought was going to be happening at once.
Yeah.
So, having Treasure Games as a startup, having this, having regular life gym, like, dude, I was confident that you and me would carve out the time because anything, look, people-wise or things you want to do, you will carve out the time. You will make the time for the things you want and the people you want to spend time with. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. And so we made the time because we wanted to do it.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things where I intend to continue making the time until it just becomes, man, you know what? I just can't. I really need time for myself as well, and work is piling up. Like, I just took on another air shift. I'm doing Sunday afternoons now back in Nashville, Tennessee, which feels pretty damn cool, to be honest.
Yeehaw, dude, you're back.
Yeah, back in Music City, and I'm on my old competitor's station, which is weird but
What did
cool.
you get traded to the Yankees, dude? What are you doing?
Yeah, basically, if you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah, hey, can't knock the hustle, dude. Hate the player, don't. What is it? Hate the game, don't hate the player.
Yeah, don't hate the player, hate the game.
There
And
it
it's cool
is.
because I'm able to patch in right from Denver, whether I'm at the actual station or here at home. I can patch in and do my shift right there. So it's pretty cool, man. And I intend on, maybe adding some more down the road. But, it's just a matter of time. It's a matter of finances. And,
Yeah, at some point, this might not be the model, but for now, we're going to do it.
oh, yeah. Just because we can. There's no one to tell us we can't. And, I mean, we're usually on the phone for quite a while, at least once a week anyhow. So we might as well roll sound,
Might as well.
Yeah. So from one David to another, this comes from David. And since you've opened up a shop and I started becoming friends with different shop owners and operators, like I'm developing really good relationships with them. And it seems like they're getting more and more interested in the show. So this is from David at the Wrestling Guy store, Huntington Park, Southern California. Highly, highly recommend this place.
Hey guys, this is David from the Wrestling Guy store, and I had 2 questions for you. The first is, what's your favorite baseball team, and why is it the Cleveland Guardians? And the second question is, did you guys ever collect any action figures besides wrestling? For example, I was a big He-Man and Super Friends guy, so I used to collect He-Man action figures and Super Friends when I was a kid. So there you go. Those are my questions for you.
The Cleveland Guardians?
Dude, the Guardians? Get out of here.
Get out of here, David. It's the Sox, bub.
Dude, it's always the Sox. But
right?
The Guardians fans, Indians fans, they've had it tough. Your team name gets changed. I don't know if I could deal with that. I'd have to change teams.
Yeah. Like, what if if the Red Sox did get forced to change their name, what would it be? Just like the Bostonians?
Yeah, the Duncan guys? I don't know.
The Duncan Kings?
The Dunk Kings? Yeah, we would be the Dunk Kings.
That'd be kind of cool, actually.
Dude, Red Sox? Or as I'll quote our friend Nick, Sea Dogs is all we got, man.
That's all we got,
That's
bro.
really our favorite team.
Yeah,
it's not them. Figures. Me and my brother had Toxic Avengers. So when I made that comment the other day about you being a Toxic Avenger, dude, we had all the Toxic Avengers figures. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was like a big deal in our house.
Yeah, Turtles for sure for me. I didn't even know what Toxic Avengers were. I never even heard of them as a kid.
Get on that internet. You'll see. They're pretty cool. You're going to want to find some on eBay.
Yeah, I've bumped into a few, and I'm like, what the heck is this? Oh, it's a Toxic Avenger. I'm like, Marvel? No. It's different. It's from like back in the day. How did I never know about it?
Dude, it was random. It wasn't wrestling. That's how.
Yeah. Well, it was either WWE or it was Ninja Turtles. So like that was my go-to. I was never into G.I. Joes. I was never really into He-Man. But something about the Turtles, probably just my age, right at the right time, and the cartoon comes out. It was game over, So definitely Turtles. Yep. And I still collect Turtles to this day. I'm about to start jumping into TMNT 2 by NECA. So I almost have the whole first film wave. I have the whole third film wave. Now I need to start the second film. So if they ever come into the shop, I call dibs, okay?
All right. Well, I'll have to add, too, the starting lineup figures.
Oh, yes, dude. What?
So that's Andre Tippett. Pretty cool one.
Oh,
I got to
I
interview
thought that was
him.
Lawrence Taylor.
I got to interview him for the cookbook, and I reached out. I was like, hey, I just found your starting lineup figure. So, I don't know. Maybe he'll sign it. It's kind of small, so it'd be a small signature.
Right. I got a starting lineup Deion Sanders in my room here that I'm hoping one day I'll head up to, old Boulder, get it signed by Coach Prime.
Dude, you have to.
Yeah. All right. Moving forward here, my buddy Jonathan, Chaotic Castles, super cool guy, fellow collector, consider him a friend. And here he is.
All right. So my question is for Dave. What advice would you give to somebody that is going to start up a shop or any type of business?
Whew. How much time you got, Jonathan?
Let's see. Well, my advice would be, first, you need to not be emotional about the business you're about to get into. That doesn't mean you can't be passionate about running a business, but your passion should be in, like, I do like collectibles, but I'm attached to none of them. I'm happy and willing to sell everything in this shop right now at this moment. $1 Million Man said it best. Everybody's got a price.
Everybody's got a price.
So
for the $1 Million Man.
Don't get emotional with decisions like just because you really want to open a business or start one. I want to. Okay, but is the money there? You got to have some capital, or you got to have capital backers. You're going to have to pay them back. Do you have the time to spend 12 hours every single day, including the weekends at the beginning? And do you have support around you? Like, you have to be realistic. That just might mean delaying the start of it. That doesn't mean give it up. It just means at that moment in time you want to start it may be the wrong time. So timing's important, and at any cost, if it's possible, own the building that you're in, because that's really the key.
Yep. That makes sense, man. You know, it's almost like if somebody, you know, has the thought, I'd love to open up my own collectible space. It's like, okay, now do you want to do it from a financial aspect, knowing it's going to take you quite time to build up any type of bank, right? Or do you just love being around this stuff all the time? You know, like for me, I love being around just a bunch of cool nostalgic things. It makes me feel young. And then seeing all the different, you know, WWE Mattels and how they're posed, it just brings me a lot of joy. Now, I don't know if that necessarily, you know, can relate into me wanting to open my own, you know?
Which is why consignment is perfect for you. You get both.
Yeah. You know, and one day I fully intend to buy into yours. So,
dude, I mean, I'll have a whole section for all the figures that you don't want to keep that you want to sell. It's just the emotional piece, and you can't be emotional about a price. You have to just let the market determine, you know, I have this card that I'm trying to sell. Hey, if it's not 15,000, maybe it's 10, maybe I've priced it too high. The market's going to dictate how much you can sell things for, how much money you can make. So you have to wait sometimes until the market decides it's time for you to sell that thing, or maybe you're going to hold it for the long dollar for a long time. Now, if you're in a cash crunch, you have to make different decisions. But, I mean, ultimately, if you don't love the process of all the little boring things of running a business, and you're going to learn that. So part of it is hopefully you could get around somebody that runs a business and learn, dude, do you like to sweep and clean the counters and do the register and pay the bills and do the cash drawer? If you don't love that stuff, not going to work.
Yeah, so two things ran through my mind. One, the long dollar would be an excellent name for some sort of television program.
So good, yes.
I think that writes itself. And two, you know, with Double Play still being in its very early stages, it's not even a year old yet from open. You know, two questions for you to kind of follow up on his. What would you say going in wound up being so much easier than you anticipated? And then what's the flip side of that? What's something that, you know, ended up being way more difficult than you thought it would as far as opening the shop?
I think what's been easier is buying stuff. I didn't realize how many people would bring in things and how little a lot of people will negotiate. A lot of people don't like negotiating, and I love it. I'll sit there in awkwardness and silence forever. I'll just give them a number. They don't counter. I'm like, okay, so we got a deal. Like, that was the number I wanted. I'm not going to start high. That's not smart.
No.
So that's been great. And then the part that I didn't expect to be, you know, so difficult, or I thought would be easier, probably would be the amount of time that I'm spending on this. Like videos and stuff, you can shoot videos, you can sit on your couch, you hang at home, it's a little more relaxing. But I'm out on the floor dealing with customers, waiting for them to leave, then getting back to my computer, editing, staying late, doing the marketing. So when you're wearing all the hats in an active business where you're dealing with customers, it's grueling. It's a lot more grueling than I thought it would be.
Yeah, man. And it's one of those things where you got to be super careful that you don't, you know, I mean, you're burning the candle at both ends. You got to be careful that candle doesn't dissipate, you know?
Yeah, and I'm already feeling like run down, so I have to get a nap in after this.
Yeah. Well, also, I mean, definitely plan on coming out here and just escaping for a long weekend, hanging out with me. That'd be dope.
Kick it in the Rockies, dude.
That's what I'm saying. We can go to Coors Field, Bub. They get the cheapest beers in the league.
Speaking my language, dude. We can sit anywhere we want.
Yeah, and we could have some freaking hot dogs too, bro. What?
I got the Ultimate Connect in Denver. I got to utilize them.
You know, as I'm getting older, I think I'm getting a little bit more of an appreciation for baseball. I always hated it because I was afraid of the ball as a kid, right? But as I've gotten, and then I always thought it was so boring. Nothing was happening. But I'll tell you, man, I find so much joy just watching baseball highlights. Like, I'll see a ton on, like, Instagram, and a lot of them, the moment I go to share it to you, you've already liked it, so I gotta wait to find a different
You're like,
one.
beat me to it.
You already got me to it, but there's just, man, there's just something about the long ball. The chicks dig it, you know?
Just come on in. The water's fine.
Yeah. So this next question comes from a buddy of mine on Instagram. His name is Matt, and he's an action figure photographer. And if you remember in one of our episodes, I wore that black shirt with action figure photo of Cody Rhodes on it. That was made
Sick.
by him.
That's a sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sick pick.
Yeah. So this is from Matt.
Hey JR, it's your boy Matt, and my question for you is if there was any pro wrestling event you could attend in the world, which one would you pick and why?
Oh, jeez. I think it just passed. I think it was WrestleMania 40 to see Cody finish the story.
I was going to add to that. If you could get in a time machine and go to any event, what would it be?
Easy. WrestleMania 3, Hogan, Andre, Pontiac Silverdome in Detroit, Michigan. 93,000 plus people.
Insane.
Insanity. That was Hulkamania at its peak.
And they did the little rings that rolled out to the bigger ring. That was the coolest. Like, why do we have another ring? We need it. Trust me.
Yeah. And of course, just in case you were wondering, Mattel makes those for sale.
Obviously, you would know that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it would be that. What about for you? Probably something with Taker. I could see your answer being Hell in the Cell 98, Taker Mankind.
It'd be tough
Being
to
there
turn
in Pittsburgh
that down.
to see that. Oh.
I think I'd want to see that because I'd already want to know the allure of The Undertaker. The other one would be to go back in time and see his debut at SummerSlam, just because I'd be like, who is this guy?
Right.
I'd be like, whoa.
Survivor Series, Taker.
Survivor
debut.
Series. The lights go out and you're like, what?
And then you hear Piper, look at the size of that ham hock.
And then you're like, I'm in.
I'm in.
for
I'm
life.
sold. I don't know what a ham hock is, but he's a big guy.
I feel like I need to see this.
Yeah, he's scary as crap, you know? So thank you for the question, Matt. This next one is from another Instagram buddy. He goes by Thor. He's a collector. Again, I don't know what these have to say, so let's dive on in. And again, these questions,
we're doing it live.
Disclaimer, yeah, we're doing it live. These are just all in alphabetical order, so there's no favoritism here.
Hey everybody, this is Thor coming to you from sunny California. Now, if you haven't seen this, you need to watch it, but if you have seen it, what is your opinion on the 1998 Hell in a Cell match between Mankind and The Undertaker? Thank you so much. And remember, everybody, keep hanging with your homie and mine, JR.
Dude, and a sign-off? That was sick, dude.
What? Man, okay. Well, we were just kind of talking
it.
about that. Yeah. My thoughts on it are...
He's broken in half. That's my thoughts.
As God is my witness, Dave. That's it. He's dead.
That's it. How do you survive? I think you and me were talking about this the other day. Like, how did a person survive that?
You know what was really interesting? Watching Taker and Foley rewatch that match back together and get a ton of insight that we had never heard before.
Oh, I need to watch that.
Yeah, and then also hearing Bruce Pritchard talk about this specific night and his conversation with Mick Foley backstage after. And Foley saying, Bruce, I'm sorry I didn't get the thumbtack spot in. As he's standing there with thousands of thumbtacks covered, dude. And it's the one match that I always reach for to show somebody if they're kind of on the fence about WWE or if they've never seen it. Like, for example, I actually filmed this. It might be sitting on a drive somewhere, but the audio came out so I didn't keep it. I showed my coworker Chelsea her first ever WWE match, and it was this match.
Really?
Yeah, and like it went from they're play fighting to this is silly, and it's like he gets thrown off, and then she's like, why are they showing this so much? Like, this is fake. He's fine, right?
He just fell like 30 feet.
Yeah, and then he starts climbing. They're climbing back up, he wants some more, And then he gets slammed through. And then that's when it started getting a little bit real to her. She's like, oh my God, what? Why are you showing me this? It's just breathtaking. It's something that will live on until the end of time, and I'll always be able to go back and watch it. And what's even more impressive about that match is that they both come out in the next match for the main event, and they do run-ins.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's truly a wonder. I mean, it needs to be in the history books of like, if you think wrestling is fake, just watch this. This will explain it all.
Oh, yeah. Seriously. It's brutality at its finest. It's theater. It's crash TV. It's
all rolled into one.
Yeah, dude. And I think the word that describes it the most is it's just remarkable. So, Thor, thank you for the question. That's so funny how that kind of ties in. And
alphabetical though, so it just worked.
Yeah, it's so
no
weird.
favoritism, guys. Come on.
No, there's not. In our last one here, obviously, is first letter is V. This comes from who, Vicky Green out in sunny Saco, Maine.
So, as you know, I have a standards whip hold when it comes to my questions. So, since we are finally above 50 degrees in Maine for the first time in forever, my question has to be kind of summer related. So, what do you think is the biggest pest in Maine during the summertime? Mosquitoes, ticks, or the French Canadians from Quebec?
Oh, wow. Throwing some curveballs, Vicky. It's Vicky Mean back in the house.
Yeah, queen of the retweets. What do you got?
I have a bone to pick with ticks recently.
100%. Dude, I will fight every tick.
I almost got killed by ticks, so they're always on my list now, forever till the end of time. But mosquitoes are always the most annoying. They'll never go away.
No.
And in the shop, as long as you avoid OOB, you can avoid those pesky tourists.
Yeah, dude, I remember just being a kid at the beach, and these French Canadians are rocking their Speedos, something fierce, brother. And you just I can never unsee it. There has to be some sort of weekly group where people get together and talk about how these French Canadians and their Speedos have impacted our mental health,
And mostly we're talking about the dudes pulling it off.
100%. 100%.
Chicken nuggets, you got to keep them in the box, all right? We don't need to be seeing that.
No, they're basically just walking around the pier smuggling bananas in their tights, Golly.
I wish it's something you wish you could unsee, but once you've seen it, it's burned in there.
Yeah, you can't unsend it like it's a text, But
and again, that was a question from a woman, so
yeah.
We agree, though.
We agree, yeah. Definitely the ticks, just because of the fight that you had. But Dave kicked out at 2.99. He kicked out. He came back for the victory.
I'm like the Undertaker now.
No, you really
because of
are,
that.
bro.
I just went.
Yeah.
Rose up.
You basically had a casket match with a tick.
Dude, they got small caskets. It's hard to close. Good.
But yeah, they're the worst, man. And there's videos you can watch online of all them just perched up on their branches and jumping on deer and people, and it's just disgusting. Probably the most annoyance is mosquitoes. There's everywhere, no matter what you do, no matter how much just you coat yourself in that, junk. You know what we had out here really bad last summer, and it might miss us if it heats up here real quick, is moths.
Oh.
They were so bad, dude. I would have on my porch light out here on the back, and there's just hundreds of them. Just suicide mission flying into the big light.
Jeez.
Yeah, and then, sometimes I'd make the mistake of opening up the back door to let some air in. The only light that's on is the TV. So suddenly,
dude,
they're just flying into the TV screen, bro.
You got to get a bug zapper out there.
No, I did. I got one of those wands. One of the rackets.
Oh, man, the rackets. You got to hang one like Bobby Boucher has.
No, yeah, dude, I was out there like Jim Cornette, and I was just like, well, goddamn. And I'm just, So.
Man.
Yeah.
Good, dude, good questions today.
Yeah, pretty good ones. I did reach out to our boy Luther Tubesock.
Yeah.
Try to get one from him.
He's tough to get a hold of.
Yeah, dude, he's doing signings and stuff now.
Wow. Really went to his head quick.
Dude, way too fast.
We created a monster.
We really did. But, suddenly Thornwood, Colorado is a tough place to get into now. So
I guess.
Hard to get a hold of them.
I don't know, man. What's up with that?
I don't know, brother. But this was a fun one. We had some fun questions. Is there anything that you'd like to ask me or anything you'd like to bring up before we go ahead and put a bow on this one?
No, I don't think so. I think it was good we took a break from some personal stuff today.
Yes.
I mean, I know we still got some things going on, and I could tell you some more stories. You never, dude, it's a roller coaster. It goes up and flat and it goes down. And I don't have the energy for it. And it's nothing serious, y'all. So if it was important, I would bring it up.
Right. Yeah, I think, my final question for you here today is an easy one, and then we'll go ahead and sign off. When's the last time you went to Funtown?
Last summer.
Yeah?
I went for Brooklyn's birthday party for her 14th birthday. Crazy that she's 14, dude. She has a boyfriend.
Jeez, dude. What?
She's finishing up freshman year in high school. He's good.
No!
He's a good guy. He's cool. He's all right. And it was like the next couple of days, I started feeling bad. And I thought it was because I went to Funtown and was around all these people that I was getting sick.
I remember.
And I'm like, oh, man, I was like, JR is coming to town. I'm going to miss him because I got sick.
It was like you thought it was like bad cake or something.
Yeah, no, and then it was like Dallas had like a birthday thing. I'm like, too many kids. I get it. I'm not immune to the kids because I'm not a parent. So I'll be going back to have a grand old time this summer because it's almost open.
Dude, Funtown's a good time. Splashtown is a good time, especially now that I'm starting to slim down, brother. I've been in there clanging and banging, brother.
You got to be ready when you come out here, dude. You got to be ready.
Yep. I'd love that, dude. Well, thank you so much for the questions. Thank you so much for listening. For Dave, my name is JR. Please remember, it's cool to be you. Peace.
Peace out.